What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jason Plays, back up in this jank with another video. And on today's video, we'll be focusing on Nintendo, because we all know that they just dropped a new Nintendo Direct, the first one of February 2022, this past Wednesday. And I had a couple days to marinate on what I saw, and now just give you my opinions and where I think Nintendo was going for the rest of the year, as well as give you my picks on the games that I'm most anticipated for that were shown during this Direct. But before we get to the news, y'all know what the do's. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when new content is uploaded. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. Now, some people were down about the Nintendo Direct because certain games that they wanted to appear didn't, like Breath of the Wild 2 or Metroid Prime 4 or maybe even Metroid Prime Trilogy. But Nintendo still had a lot of great content that was shown during this Direct. Now, it's also true that a lot of the content that was shown, or maybe half of the content that was shown, were games that we already have seen before. So when I go through my picks from this Nintendo Direct show, I may leave out certain games that I am interested in, but we've already seen footage of them before. Now, there may be one particular game where we've seen footage of this game, but this particular mode that was available in the game hadn't been shown up to this point, and that's why that game was mentioned. So without further ado, let's get into my picks from this first Nintendo Direct of the year. My first pick is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is set to release in September. A vast world awaits Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the next game in the acclaimed RPG series from the developer Monolith Soft. Players will step into the roles of protagonists Noah and Mio amid turmoil between hostile nations of Kiev and Agnes. 6 characters hailing from those nations will take part in a grand tale with life as a central theme. Explore a new world that will connect the futures of both Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, launching for the Nintendo Switch this September. Now, I did miss Xenoblade Chronicles on the Nintendo 3DS as well as the Nintendo Wii U, but I did play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch, and I can say that Monolith Soft has a knack for creating these huge open world vistas and humongous enemies, even on a system that has limitations like the Nintendo Switch. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 also looks to not disappoint. All I can tell you is that the game looks magnificent, and maybe the Pokemon company could have looked at Monolith Soft, or did some co-development with them to help them bring that type of vastness appeal to Pokemon Legends Arceus that just released a week or two ago. Another thing that I like about Xenoblade series so far from what I played is that it has tons of voice acting. So there's minimal silent text boxes, kind of like what you see in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it's a lot of voice acting, which I prefer to listen to the characters as they communicate with each other rather than reading a lot of text boxes. So that's another thing that I'm looking for. Great story, great gameplay, and it looks just as massive as what they've done before. I can't wait for this game. Now, my next pick from this Direct is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. And basically what it is additional courses that'll be remastered from the past Mario Kart games that are coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as paid DLC. And you'll be able to access them in the Boosters Course Pass. Now, how it's going to work is that throughout 2022 and 2023, there'll be 6 waves of content drops, each having 8 courses. So that means that there will be 48 additional courses that are planned for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they will be released by the end of 2023. So within a year's time, you will get 48 additional courses. Now there's 2 ways in order for you to access these 48 additional courses. Now if you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack membership, you will have access to the content as released as long as your subscription is current. Now option number 2, you can buy the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass separately. And please note that the pass will give you access to all 6 waves as they release, and you will not be able to buy the waves separately. So it all comes in one package. And if you're interested in this route, you can also pre-order it now. And the first course pack is revealed or will be available on March the 18th. And then it will just go on from there all the way until the end of 2023. Now, this is pretty big for me. I mean, most people were hoping that we get a Mario Kart 9, but at the rate that they're going now, saying that this course pack that you'll be getting for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is basically extending over a year's period, it most likely means that the next Mario Kart will be available for either an improved Switch, Nintendo's next console, and or it'll probably be a dual release, which will be on a new generation system and the current Switch that we have now. It seems that in a year's time, and we're still getting DLC for Mario Kart 8, that Mario Kart 9 probably just won't be out this generation. We just got to come to grips with that. And remember, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold over 40 million copies and is still selling and is still in the top sellers for the month currently right now. And I also want to add that Mario Kart is one of my favorite franchises from Nintendo in general. My favorites from the past being Mario Kart on Super Nintendo, as well as Mario Kart 64, and now Mario Kart 8, which debuted on the Wii U, but now it's on Nintendo Switch. And the only thing I believe that they should add to the game, besides more courses, which is great, is having the ability to party up easy with friends and join live matches with other players. That's what they really need to work on, is an update for that, because there's so many people who have Mario Kart, but it's so difficult and almost impossible to get into an online match with your friend. And I think that is something that really needs to be addressed. Now, my third pick from the show would have to be Nintendo Switch Sports, which is due out April the 29th. Now, I know everyone remembers Wii Sports, and not everyone remembers bowling, playing tennis with their family. This is pretty much the same thing, but a new version for Nintendo Switch with a few new additions. And they say get moving with soccer, volleyball, bowling, tennis, badminton, and sword play using Joy-Con controllers with intuitive control, so you can hit the court or lanes, field, or arena and get started with controlled motions. You can curve your bowling ball, spin a tennis shot, or even use a Joy-Con with the leg strap to kick a ball in a shootout. Family and friends can join in on the fun on the same system or online. Plus, there is a 7th sport that is planned to be added via free update this fall, and that is golf. Now, when you're playing online, you can earn points to reach the Pro League, where you can redeem these points to earn for in-game rewards and outfits, sports accessories, gear, and much more for your avatar. The selection of items will rotate each week, so you check back to see what's in stock. Now, this could be big if they can recreate the same excitement that they had for the original Wii Sports. And I also believe that some of the games that are not present in this version, they will be bringing as either free content updates or paid DLC. Or since they already have said or stated that the golf game will be available as free DLC, maybe boxing or baseball, which were in the old Wii Sports game, will make its return as paid DLC. Now, I don't know if this game will sell as much as the previous Wii Sports sold on the original Wii, because the original Wii Sports was a pack-in with the system. So essentially, there was one game sold with each system. This game has to be bought separately, and it has been announced to come out in the mid-life cycle of the Nintendo Switch when the Wii Sports was a launch title that came out with the original Wii. But I believe that if the game is marketed properly, if it plays well, and if they continue to add additional sports to this title, that this game may be shooting off the charts very, very soon. And my next pick is Splatoon 3. Even in a desolate environment, turf war reigns supreme, and the battles rage in new stages located in surrounding wilds. Dynamic new moves help these fighters dodge attacks, cover more ground, along with new bow-shaped weapon and sling ink. Join Agent 3 in the fight against the evil Octoman army in story mode. Discover the secrets of Alterna, the Fuzzy Ooze, and how they connect to the mode's theme, and the return of the Mammalians. Team up and fend off waves of dangerous Salmonoid bosses and the next iteration of Salmon Run. And that's what Nintendo focused on in this Direct, was the Salmon Run portion, which is a horde mode, a 4-player co-op mode where you and your friends try to survive waves of Salmonoids and collect eggs and battle the bosses. It actually looks more of the same, but it's a welcome addition to this title because it makes the game feel as it's complete. So not only do you have the multiplayer turf war, which is more of a competitive online mode, but you also have a full-blown story mode single player, as well as a co-op horde mode. And the horde mode, aka Salmon Run Next Wave, should be a little better this year, or more improved, because of the new mechanics they have added to the game. So it should be a lot of fun to team up with your friends and kill some Salmonoids. I'm looking forward to this game, and the reason why I'm a fan of Splatoon is because it's technically Nintendo's take on Call of Duty or something like that, a competitive shooter in their own way. And it's great to see Nintendo branch out and try new genres of games. So next on the list is Mario Strikers Battle League, which is set to release June 10th. Introducing Strike, a 5-on-5 soccer-like sport with no rules. Do whatever it takes to win. Get gritty and try to score the most goals by tackling enemies, using items, and pulling off score-boosting special shots. Super Mario series mainstays like Peach, Toad, and Yoshi put their cleats to the pitch and will stop at nothing to score. Customize your characters with gear that can augment their stats and appearance, and take the carnage online or pass the ball to players locally. Just look out for the electric fence. And here they even have some FIFA style features. Join an online club to push and shove your way up the ranks. Band together with up to 20 strikers online and compete against other clubs for points. Find the right club for you, team up with friends, and bring your own striker style to the table. Strive to become the world's best top club each season. And also, 8 players can go for the goal on one Nintendo Switch system with local wireless or online, and bring all secondary strikers on a system and online battles too. Locally, 4 players can team up and go cleat to cleat in individual matches. Now this game definitely looks cool. It's a great take on soccer, and it definitely, even though it's not a simulation soccer game, but it still looks to outdo not only graphically, but what is involved mechanically and available as far as like joining clubs and things of that nature, and taking club online. It looks like a game that's a whole lot more robust than what EA is offering with FIFA titles on the Nintendo Switch currently. So even though it's not simulation and it's more of like a NFL Blitz style or NFL Street style game, it's still a great addition to the Nintendo Switch, and I'm great to see Nintendo fill that soccer void for the fans who love soccer but only have a Nintendo Switch to play soccer games on. And I hope this game also incorporates an easy way to voice chat with your friends, because it's going to be very difficult to have a club of friends all on the same team and playing online against other clubs, and you can't communicate with one another easily. Now the last game in this Direct that piqued my interest that I really don't know anything about is this RPG called Live Alive, which makes its worldwide debut in HD 2D on the Nintendo Switch. Now, this is a previously unreleased outside of Japan video game that was very popular in Japan, and which makes this RPG unique is that it contains 7 different stories from different protagonists, and that are also set in different time periods, and they also have different gameplay styles. For example, there is one story and one protagonist that's set in the Wild Wild West, and there's also another story where it's from the twilight of Edo, Japan, where a shinobi undertakes a secret mission. Like I said, I don't know much about this game, but it sounds cool being able to play different stories, and the art style and animation is something like you would see with Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy. And like I said, it's also pretty cool that it was never released outside of Japan. So for collectors or RPG lovers, this will probably be a big game for you to pick up here. It looks good to me, and I'm looking forward to it as well. Now, some other games that were also announced during this Nintendo Direct, which may be big to you, but like I said, these are just my picks. Some of the honorable mentions are Chrono Cross, Earthbound added to the Switch Online service, which is great. They continue to bolster the Nintendo Switch Online service to make it better. Triangle Strategy, MLB The Show 22, which is another great addition because MLB The Show 21 was supposed to come to the Switch, but it never found its way out. MLB The Show 22 finally making its way. Yeah, it does look a little rough compared to the other console versions, but it's still cool because it has cross-platform play, so you can still play online versus other friends that may have other consoles, as well as it has progression, which means that if you were playing on your PS5 or your Xbox Series X or S, for example, you can move your stats and your season over to the Switch, and you can continue playing on the go. We also got Advance Wars 1+2, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which is not the traditional tactical RPG style Fire Emblem. It's more like the Warriors games and what have you, which look great, but you can also see the limitations of the Switch during the trailer where there was some slowdown. They're also adding Portal this year, No Man's Sky, which sounds pretty good, and Kirby Forgotten Lands, which we already seen a lot of already, which will be out soon next month. I'm definitely looking forward to Kirby. And in this Nintendo Direct, they just showed some of his new abilities, like being able to take control of a car and things of that nature. So if you add up the games that I picked out as my main takes, plus the games that I just mentioned for the honorable mention, and all these games will be available in 2022, Nintendo still has a robust lineup, and that's even without Breath of the Wild 2, a new Mario Kart, Bayonetta 3 wasn't even included in this list, and Metroid Prime Trilogy or Metroid Prime 4. So just imagine if some of those games were to come out as well, plus all the games mentioned here in this Nintendo Direct. That would mean that Nintendo may have one of the biggest years in gaming in general. And even with all the games that were announced, as I said, that's still a blockbuster year for Nintendo. In the comments below, let me know what were your most anticipated games from this Nintendo Switch Direct presentation that we just had this past Wednesday. Let me know if you also think that there are still more games that are on the table that will launch this year that Nintendo just hasn't decided that they want to release any new information about at this point. And if you like this content, please like the video and share with a friend. Remember, play games, not brands. I'm gone.